Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are tuning in from. This is the BS Buddies podcast. I'm your host, Joe. That's your host, Ian, and we're going to make you the worst road trip possible. Ian came up with this idea because it's spring, people are going to start traveling. So we're going to lock in your vacation cuz we would never want to do this. We got
We're gonna
places, we got landmarks that you don't want to see.
some of the guaranteed worst places to visit according to the internet, and maybe a little bit of personal preference. I guess depending on how the lens that you view it through. But yeah, we've compiled a list of apparently some tourist trap and overrated places that you might want to exactly avoid planning your next road trip for. One
Ian,
of these you can only even see seasonally, so it doesn't even matter that much.
I have no idea which one you could mean by that. It's not on my list. Did you want to start or did you want me to start?
Sure, I'll take us all the way over to New York City to start us off with, which I mean, first of all, it's New York City. Look, I'm not saying that it wasn't amazing at one point in time or another, but now it's just crowded. But I mean, out of all of New York City, the one thing that I saw here that brought to my attention, I was just searching up tourist trap places, which kind of makes sense to me, is the ice rink at Rockefeller Center. And if you guys don't know, that's always the place where they have like the really big Christmas tree, and it's always in like Hallmark movies where, oh, you go skating on the ice. Oh no, down and I hurt myself. Ooh, whatever. But to me, that makes sense because okay, first of all, like I said, you can only visit it seasonally. I don't.
Okay,
What
that
if it? What
that
do they
makes
even
sense.
do with the ice rink and turn it into a roller rink in the summertime? Just turn it into a roller rink to watch people fall down on the
Well,
concrete.
well, you explain. I'll look it up.
Now see, I might be worth going to visit if I could watch people fall down on the concrete because that would be kind of funny. But I mean, realistically, it's just an ice rink. I mean, if you want to go skating that bad, just go to like a lake. Like just that you got like all of New York State. I've heard that the natural you know, formations, whatever, of New York State is fairly beautiful to see. So I don't know why in the world you'd go into New York City just to go skating on an ice rink. I think that's one of those places that you end up at. You don't actively seek it out, you just kind of end up there. And then on top of that, because a lot of people know about it, it gets really crowded and it's full of people. So you got like 500 people packed into this hockey rink, all falling down over top of each other. And you go in a circle, you making a left turn for a little while, maybe get some ice burns, and then that's it. You're done.
D-
And I don't even know if they give you your own ice skates. Maybe you got to bring them.
Yeah, I think considering, well, now it's April, but like this, considering we're making a worse list, like around this time, probably not when you want to go. You want to go for the big Christmas tree, and it seems like they turn it into like a patio area during the summer and like decorate it and you do all sorts of stuff and that looks fun. So yeah, like this time of year where it's kind of in between, it might be like eh,
There's just nothing to do there.
it's like they're transitioning from the ice rink to the other stuff so you can't, I don't know. I've never been to
It's
New
just
York,
sloppy slush.
so
I have no desire to. I get the feeling looking at it, and I mean, granted, maybe that's because of growing up in a colder climate where readily available ice is just everywhere for you to have fun with. It's just an ice rink. There's nothing that it's in New York City. And I feel like if you're going to go to New York City, there's more fun things you can do than go to the ice rink in Rockefeller Center. I don't know. That's just me. I wouldn't go see it. Like I said, you're just skating around in a circle.
I
Hey, look,
don't
Santa Claus. Is that Will Ferrell?
I don't
But
even
the
know
elf with
if I
big
can
tongue.
ice skate. So, yeah, that's not like a prime spot for me to go ever. Like, if you're super into ice skating, I think that's like a dream spot for you to go. But, yeah, if I go to New York, it's like, oh, like, awesome, Rockefeller Plaza. Okay, I'm over it. Next spot.
That's it. Saw it. Next. Go.
For the next one, this is kind of the same thing for me. I have been here, or should I say, I have been here. We're going to
But
Chicago. We're not going to Shut Aquarium, which is awesome. We're not going to go to the Field Museum, which is also awesome. I actually met a YouTuber doctor there. Super nice. If you've ever heard of Dr. Mike, I got to meet him there. Super cool dude. Uh,
I'm not
no,
with the times, as the kids say.
we're not going to the art museum. We're not going to Navy Pier. We're not going to go to Willis Tower. We are going to go to the Big Bean.
The bean.
I
The
hadn't heard of
bean.
I hadn't heard of it until we got there, and it's like, hey, we're going there. It's literally a giant reflective bean, and that's it.
Covered in chrome. You get to stand in front of it and look at yourself like you're looking in front of one of those funhouse mirrors. Whoa, check out how weird and curvy I am. But and then isn't it like a weird tradition that people like lick the bean?
I wouldn't put it
Like
past
it's
anyone, but
I think I've heard there's like I don't even know if you call it a tradition. It's just like it's like a fad or like a pop culture thing that people like kiss the bean or lick the bean or do something where they put their mouth on it. First of all, why? Second of all, why? And third of all, I got no more. I just why? Why in big bold letters is my main question. Like it's just a bean. Why would you want to? It's reflective. You stand there and yep, that's a bean. Can't even plan it and get like a magic cornstalk into the sky to go steal the goose that lays the golden egg or whatever have you. No, just a bean. I
the
want to
other
know what is the history behind the bean?
the other thing is like there's from what I can remember, there's not like a lot by it. There's not like greenery or like a garden or like a park area. It's just on like concrete slab with some steps going up to it. And you can take pictures, you could touch the bean. But I remember going to the art museum, which was cool. And then I think we might have walked to it because it was close enough, but it's not like right next to the art museum. I don't know. For me, it was like, oh, this is cool. And like I brought up the bean to people, and it's like, I didn't know it was a thing, and we spent way too much time there for the trip.
This is my favorite thing that I looked up about the bean right now, right? Because apparently its actual name is Cloudgate, which I don't know why that name was chosen for it, especially in light of this information. What does the bean mean? The bean's reflective surface was inspired by liquid mercury. It's like, hey, you remember that thing that we used to do in science class with the metal that if you hold it in your hands too long, you get mercury poison and then it's yeah, you know that thing? What if we made a sculpture out of that? Like what if we made a sculpture representing a very dangerous chemical? I don't even know, is
And
it considered
people
a
wanted to
chemical?
lick it.
And people want to lick it. People, yeah, bro, how's your mercury microdosing going? Oh, it's great, man. I can see 16 new colors and I'm talking to the robins in the tree outside my apartment. Yeah, okay, this is about the time that the van should come up. Yep, there's the straight jacket. Have fun in the padded room. Like that's all I'm saying. That's what the bean represents to me.
Yeah,
I can't get
like
over
it's
that.
just a big chrome bean, and there's not much to do around it. Just look at it and say you've been there.
Inspired by I'm not gonna get over that. I'm not gonna get over it. Inspired by
I
liquid mercury.
I think there was a thing where like that artist and a different artist got in a feud, and that's really cool. But besides that, it's like, because I think
Oh,
I strangely remember that like those two artists, like one wanted to make the darkest black or like no light black, and then another artist like ripped him off, and I don't know.
meh. Hey, let's make it look like a cloud took a giant metallic poop in the park. Let's do that. That sounds good.
Ian, where's our
Anyways,
next location?
moving south. on your tourist trap slash worst roadside destinations for your road trip. We're gonna be going, and this one I saw, and I literally just pulled out of the archives because I it crossed paths with me when I was looking. The largest ball of twine in Kansas, which is exactly what it sounds like. It looks like a giant hay bale, but it's just a ball of twine. And as far as I can tell, there's like some gimmicky trinket shops and whatever around there. But what I want to know, right? The large what? I'm sorry, my autocorrect or the autofill on Google really confused me with its suggestion, which I'm not going to repeat on camera lest I draw the ire of the internet denizens. But it's very, very confused. I got to the largest B and then things got weird. It
Okay.
weighs 17,400 pounds or 7,900 kilograms if you speak non-freedom. It's 12 feet across.
How do they weigh
Circumference.
stuff like that?
Do you imagine they just like rolled it on to one of those like
But
industrial scales they have
just
at like a
bathroom
grain,
scale.
like a granary or something? They're just like, "Hey, Mike, can you hold off weighing them potatoes for a couple of minutes? We got to see how much this twine ball weighs." It was, oh my God, it took 8 years to complete. It was started by Frank Stober in 1953 and it was completed in 1961. What, how, yeah, I mean, it's a whole bunch of twine, but like what, I want to know what the inspiration is for this. Each August, a twine-a-thon is held, and additional twine is added by the residents in the community and visitors. This is your chance to be part of one of the world's largest things. Boy, oh boy. You can
Interesting.
arrange to add twine to the world's largest ball of twine at other times, and then they give you a number to call or an email.
There's
And
actually so many big balls of twine when you look it up. Like the
as
one,
in 20 I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but as of 2023, it weighs over 27,000 pounds. It's not even a ball anymore. It's a
yeah,
dome.
it's like round. Like not on the bottom, it's like you said, it's like a hay bale that's just rounded on the top.
I wonder I wonder if you had a chainsaw, how long do you think it would take you to cut through all that? You think chainsaw would probably get like tangled up in there. You need like a laser to like slice through it.
Any
I
more
wonder if
on
there was
the ball of twine?
I mean, I have so many questions, too many for this video, but no, nothing of note at this moment.
Well, we're just gonna. We kind of had it planned. We're gonna go east to west, so I think the next one west would be Minot, North Dakota. Like, just a place in North Dakota had to make the list. Someone who's lived
Poor
there
residents of Minot.
in Fargo, like, I never wanted to go any more west than Fargo. And if you don't know, Fargo is right on the eastern line of North Dakota, and I didn't want to go any farther west because all the big cities, if you want to call them that, I heard nothing but complaints from all the all of them. And I had a buddy who lived in Minot for a while, and he said it was the worst, one of the worst times, like living in a place. There's nothing to do. It's like one of the biggest cities in the state, and there's like nothing to do. As soon as you leave Minot, there's nothing. And apparently, like a lot of people were on the bad stuff.
On the the
It,
happy fun powder dust.
the green glowing stuff from Breaking Bad, that stuff.
They're radioactive. They're eating radioactive sludge. Comes in a cartoon barrel. They just scoop it into your bowl. They're like, "Here's dinner." Oh boy, the Minot special cancer. Minot, North Dakota does not cause cancer. Radiation will. Let's be very clear about this.
I remember
No,
VeggieTales made a joke. It said, "Might not be perfect, but it sure beats South Dakota," which is a lie, but
it really is. A funny quick story about Minot is a couple of years ago when I was home on leave in the military, I went out to visit a friend who lived in Minot. It's probably the one who was living with our buddy together out there. I don't know if it is or not. I'll have to confirm with it after. But so I went out there. First of all, I went when like a huge snowstorm hit. Now, it
surprise,
took
surprise.
me just to give you guys a mental image of how flat and nothing there is in North Dakota, right? You can cross the whole state in about 6 hours on a clear day, like west to east, which is what I did when I was driving home from the military. Once you get on Highway 94, you don't even have to move the steering wheel. You can just let go and you'd be fine. But even in like the worst snowstorm of that, not the worst snowstorm of that year, but a big snowstorm, it took me like 6 hours to get out to Minot. And then once I was there, me and a buddy, we wanted to go out and it's like, oh, let's see what the nightlife is like out here in Minot. And the only Uber who was out and about that night was this dude in an all-wheel drive Jeep who had just like these big snow tires on there, and he picked us up like 3 or 4 different times. It got to that point where like we would request him and he'd pull up and we'd be like, we just get in with him and he'd drive us to the next stop. And he's like, oh, yeah, he's like, I might as well just give you guys my personal number, and then when you need to get picked up, just let me know and I'll be here. And it was like, yeah, bro, you're like the only one out here. He was like,
If
well, you guys are like the only ones calling it, so
if you go like just horizontal across North Dakota at the speed limit, it'll take you a little less than 5 hours to cross the whole thing.
wow,
And
that's
it's
impressive.
fairly long lengthwise compared to other states. But there's just I-94 just straight across. There's no
Great.
curves. It's just straight across. There's one
Literally
curve
right
once you
across.
get close to Fargo. But yeah, I haven't heard any good things from there.
No, it's a town.
Yeah, it's a town.
Sure qualifies. Oh
Where are you
man. All
taking
right,
us
Joel.
now?
Well, I think our next one is actually yours.
We just talked about Minot.
Yes, true, but
But oh,
didn't
in
you have
order?
one down
Okay.
in Nebraska?
I
Yeah, you
do
might
have
might
one
as
in
well take us through it.
Nebraska, which
I was delivered pizza, so pardon me, everyone. I'm gonna enjoy some wonderful pizza in the background while Joe
my
takes us to our next stop.
my family has been here, a few of them. My sisters used to live in Colorado, and from where my parents lived, it was about a 13-hour drive. So, on occasion, they would leave early in the morning and be there by nighttime. And on one of those drives, they, I believe they stopped here, but they stopped at Carhenge. And if you don't know what that is, you know Stonehenge, like the rock structure that nobody understands how the big rocks are stacked on the other rocks and in a way, and like it could read the stars or whatever it does. Someone made that but out of cars and made it an attraction in Nebraska.
Yeah. It puts me in mind of what's that place? Hang on, I'm gonna look and looking at it, all these cars look like they had a nice run-in with Medusa. And I have to admit, some of like the way that they have these cars designed is rather impressive. It's rather impressive the way that they've got them around. But it says the Heelstone is like a 1962 Cadillac or something like that, which, right?
It's
Sure, I'm
it's
glad you
rated
got.
4.6 stars out of 2,900 reviews. It is
It
a
puts me in mind of the place called Cadillac Ranch,
oh
which is
my
down in
goodness.
it's down in Texas, and it's literally just like a dozen or so Cadillacs that are just stuck like nose first in the ground with only like the back half of the car sticking out of the dirt.
Oh,
Who
I pulled it up. Like
who
this
are
is
these
even
people?
cooler though.
Who are these people who are just like, yeah,
At
hey
least
man,
this one.
you know that Stonehenge over in England? Like all them rocks, yeah. What if we took Pa's old Ford and shoved it in the ground like them rocks? Bill, I think you've had enough moonshine. Give me that jug. You know, you might be onto something here. Just like
Actually, it is Jim. Jim. I glanced at the name. It's Jim. I didn't read the last name, but he made the
Jim something.
sculpture.
You know what? Thanks for your contributions, Jim something. Not I do not find fault with any of your handiwork in the way that you've buried those cars. It's beautiful. I'm just very confused on your motivations.
Oh well.
Apparently, it's
But
appeared in a number of pop culture like television programs, commercials, music. You know what? Yeah. Why not? Why not? Bunch of cars sticking out of the ground, spray painted gray, not even colorful. Let's do it.
well,
Okay.
bring us further west.
All right. So further west and moving a bit more south here is 29 Palms, California. And this is a little bit of an Easter egg for my military friends out there. 29 Palms, California is the butthole of the California desert
Hmm.
where there is absolutely nothing of note and nothing interesting out there. And this is part of my larger distaste for desert arid climates. And this is not to say that those areas are not beautiful in their own right, okay? But I like things that are green and have leaves and grass and flowing water and general things to survive 120-degree heat. Um, yeah, 29 Palms, California. Like when we would go out there for training, it's hot. It's a desert. There's nothing there, and it takes like a 6 to 7 hour convoy to get out there. Now, granted, my experience might be a little tainted because I was in the military at the time. However, all I know is that from the guys who have been stationed out there, every single time I would talk to them, they're like, "Yeah, bro, it sucks out here. There's nothing to do. Literally nothing to do. Just hot, sand, more hot, more sand. That's it. That's all you get." And the whole area is like in between that, like you got like these rolling. I mean, I guess they're mountains, rolling hills slash mountains ish, and you're just like in this big valley, and the heat of the sun comes overhead in the day, and meh. And it says here it also serves as one of the entry points to the Joshua Tree National Park. So I guess if you like seeing trees that look like they had legs at one point, good for you. But all I can say is that this place sucks. There's nothing there to see. Not a thing, unless you want to hear the occasional rumble of artillery guns in the distance.
Well, kind of goes hand in hand with my next one, which desert. I think this one's kind of tiptoeing that line of like Rockefeller Plaza, but I'm thinking like summertime, the hottest place in the country, Death Valley. And I'm not
Death
talking
Valley.
about like you can be in the caves. I'm talking like you're exploring
You're just
above
you're
ground.
just you're just in Death Valley. Aptly named, by the way. There's nothing lives there because anything that has 3 brain cells and a will to live says, the air temperature is 106. The ground is 119 to the touch. I'm gonna leave. Most
which
organic material, even the trees try to run away.
which I looked up pictures and there are some really pretty aerial shots, but just imagining that in 120-degree weather, no, no thanks.
Mhm. No, I can't even imagine. Well, and I hear that it's like great for once again the military loves to do a lot of testing out there because there's nobody there. And truthfully, if you ever wanted to hide anything where nobody was going to find it, yeah, Death Valley. I'm not going to go into Death Valley. Oh, why? It's in the name. Death. Death. That's all you get. Death Valley.
I think you got at least one more.
I do have one more here and an honorable mention, if it so comes to that. But one that I saw that I can't believe people would go to, but it's in Seattle, so kind of like New York. First of all, you have to go to Seattle to see it. So, um,
I totally
gonna
don't want to go
gonna
to
get
Seattle in my lifetime, and that's definitely not a dream of mine. But continue.
gonna get a lot gonna get a lot of city people angry at me. No, it's okay. I'm sure Seattle has more wonderful things to offer. The original Starbucks in Seattle. Apparently, there are people who pay good money to go to the original Starbucks, and I guess there's like not even anything special about it. Like the coffee joint
Yeah, I
makes
think it's
coffee.
just a regular store. Like
I
it's
bet
not.
going to the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon was more fun than visiting the original Starbucks in Seattle. Not that I've been there, but just based off of what I've seen, it's a coffee shop. It's not even a good coffee shop at that. Starbucks coffee's it's not that good. It's really not.
It's not like it's from like sometime in the 1900s. It's like
It's no Caribou coffee, which is objectively better. It's a Midwest thing.
I suppose us Midwesterners like our Midwestern things.
We do. We're what's the word I'm looking for? Stubborn, homegrown, ridiculous.
Yeah,
All three.
yeah. Well, you went to the desert, then you really got thirsty from the desert, so you had to go to Starbucks, and then you were crazy enough to go back down to California for the last one, which is just awful. Please don't go here. I think it's right in LA. Skid Row.
Skid Row.
Skid Row. Not the band,
Um,
the location.
not not the band.
Right next to that
Let's see.
super haunted hotel. Are you looking it up?
Oh my God, yeah, yeah, I am looking at yeah, Skid Road. Oh my God,
Skid
yeah, on
Road.
the skids. Yeah, living on the skids. Wow, that is. I'd say
For
that's about on par with visiting the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And like, if you want to go see the Hollywood Walk of Fame, hey, power to you. But I'm gonna tell everyone right now, LA is not a very luxurious city. The City of Angels is decidedly not. The Hollywood Walk of Fame, you got some stars in the pavement. And Skid Road, that's a lot of tents. It's a lot of tents that I'm seeing on the sidewalk there. And it just
yeah,
doesn't look
so
appealing.
I watched a documentary on some lady who went missing and then ended up finding her body on the roof of the hotel. Very famous hotel, very haunted hotel. But then they talked about Skid Row, which is like Skid Road, sorry, right next to it. And I got to learn more about it. And basically, they just ran out of room for all the homeless people, so they just shoved them in this area and just keep them there and don't really help them. So then they're just hopped up on drugs and just not a way any human being should live or have to live. I feel terrible for those people because the government's like, yeah, just shove them there. They'll be fine. And it's not fine at all. It's a very dangerous place.
Oh my God. Looking up some of these glyph notes on Wikipedia, in September 2005, hospitals and law enforcement agencies were discovered to be dumping homeless people onto Skid Row. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Wow, that just sounds terrible. This makes me feel bad. This makes me feel bad more than anything. I don't want to visit, but wow, I feel terrible. I don't think this is another case of you don't go there, you end up there. That
But
is
yeah.
terrible. That is, oh my
Um,
gosh.
is your honorable mention any better?
Um, yeah, once again going back up to Seattle, in case you weren't finished enough with it.
You ran
It's called
back to Seattle.
you went back to Seattle. Or maybe you passed by it on the way to go get your shitty Starbucks coffee. The Gum Wall in Seattle. It's literally just an
What?
alleyway. Yeah, it's an alleyway where just people, I don't even know how it got started, but people just stick their gum to the wall and it's just filled with so much. Like this place is a biohazard to the nth degree.
I also want to apologize for us looking away so much. We're just looking up pictures. Like, I had to see the gum wall. Like, why? Quirky
It's
attraction? No, it's not quirky. It's gross.
quirky attraction, boy. You couldn't be further from the truth.
Or oh,
Disgusting hazard zone, I think, is more like it. That
there's
is
there's literally a picture of a couple who chewed green gum and spelled out baby, and they're taking like a picture of the dude holding his girl's stomach, and it's
here's
just
some
gum on a wall.
here's something to really make your stomach turn. How many groups of friends you think been walking through there and went, bro, I bet you won't take that piece off the wall and eat it. Okay. Look like once again going back to Buddy the Elf, picking the
Why
gum from the underside of the rail.
why is someone proposing at the gum wall? Why? Seattle, you guys are crazy.
The ring is in this Tootsie Roll center of this Tootsie Pop, which is gum. So you gotta get through the Tootsie Roll and then eat the gum, and you get a ring, and then you stick the gum on the wall, and then you get an incurable disease. DEATH. It's not a
I
fun nursery rhyme. I wouldn't recommend singing it.
I will say this is definitely something our friend group would start, because I looked up how it got started. And it's near Pike Place Market, so awesome, which is actually the really cool place, and then you can go visit the gum wall. Patrons of the Market Theater who were waiting in line started sticking their chewed gum on the wall. And it just stuck. Literally,
So
just
all
stuck.
because people just wanted to be gross.
The gum wall was cleaned for the first time since 2019 and November 2024. So they clean it at least every once every 5 years. That's good.
The sugar in the gum erodes the bricks. Oh boy, that is something. It
Well,
took 130 hours and they removed 2,350 pounds of gum.
I thought they were going to say like the piece count. It's like whose job was that? Well, I think that's a good enough ending for this
Yeah,
cuz
no kidding.
I've been enlightened.
That I don't know if enlightened. I've been engrossified.
That
I don't
too.
know if that's a word, but I'm making it a word.
But hopefully you guys enjoyed our list, and I mean, we went to one of those, actually two of those places out of the 11 that we said. We've been there in person. Minot and the Big Bean. If
The
you'd
other
like
places I have no desire to visit.
if you'd like us to do like places we've been and have enjoyed and sites we've seen and have liked, let us know down below. Thank you for BSing with us today. We hope to see you next time. Become a bud today by subscribing. We will see you next time when we take a video from the gum wall.
Joe will be doing that alone. I will not be present because I am going to be taking her easy, and you should do the same. See you later.